You know when you lose a game, right? You're either angry or you're annoyed or you're finding excuses for why you lost, or the referee, or the coach should have done something different here. This is the only time I think I've ever watched the Man United game where we've lost, and honestly, I've just accepted it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rematch. This is Funeral Settings here at the studio. We have a blockbuster episode, right? Because we actually have two of the biggest United content creators on the scene, Mr. Adam Mckola and Mr. Flex, here to talk about a game I think all of us have tried taking out of our memory for a long time. Yeah, I can tell.
They're wheeling us out for the negative.
There's someone
results,
behind
bro.
the camera holding a gun at me.
Oh, man.
I don't want to be here. I've never seen this game
relive this, bro.
since the day it happened. Apart from Rooney's goal, that's the only thing I've seen.
I mean, the game he's talking about is Barcelona 3, Man United 1. Barcelona 3, Man United 1. One of the most depressing days I think I've ever had as a United fan. And that's saying something because we've had some big defeats. We've had some humbling days, but I don't think any result has ever humbled me like this game. Before we get started, gents, do you guys remember where you were for this game?
This was when I was still a member of United. So I went to a lot of the home games here. I think I went to the Schalke semi-final, a few other bits. But for the final, I didn't get a ticket. And then I thought, Wembley's rubbish outside for places to watch the game. So I just stayed in Manchester and watched it at a Most event. So yeah.
I was really happy actually because at the time I'd got a new job in a school I was trying to get into for ages. Life's good, obviously league's going well. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm ready for revenge of 09. And one of my boys, he had like a little man cave thing in his like conservatory thing. And it was like, everyone come watch it around mine. But it wasn't just all United fans. Do you know what I'm saying? You got the Arsenal fans in there ready to hate. You've got Chelsea fans in there, Liverpool fans. But they're just
What were
really
you thinking?
you know why? Do you know why? Because the reason why is because they were such close friends, yeah. And like it had been a tough year for one year or another. And it was like we always, no matter what the games were, we were always together. And 100% I did regret it. But I went into it, stupidly going, because all this hate, I know we got something for them from 09. I know it. And you're going to come for our funeral, but I want to be basking in the glory. And obviously, yeah.
You used the word revenge. I'm here for revenge for 09. Did you guys think going into this game, it was our time? Like, we're here for revenge. What's the expectation? Because this game crowned Barcelona, I think, as the greatest club side of their era, right?
Well, it was a head-to-head for that, I think. I think maybe the 09 final I think we were a lot better in 09. And maybe that would have been the true decider of who the greatest club side is. But this was kind of like a second leg to that. Fergie against Pep as well, you think about that. And it was Rooney's time. And he was unbelievable for us. I think it was a season before as well where we went out to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, he played a great season.
And Wazza was just amazing. And I really wanted it for him as well as obviously United. And I'd seen us playing 3 Champions League finals up until that point, and we'd won 2. So I'm like, surely we're not going to lose 2 on the spin. Do you know what I mean? Surely we don't lose 2 on the spin. So that's how I felt.
So you came in with a lot of confidence, though.
But obviously, less than 09, because you looked at their team and they were unbelievable. But you always feel like Fergie, Rooney, Giggs, Scholes, they might have something.
That's how I felt. I know when you can look like pound for pound and you see what our starting 11 was and stuff, and how Barcelona had basically improved in that time, because obviously you kind of just think about your own team. Do you know what I mean? But they obviously did improve. But like Max saying there, like I just felt that like this is the time for the comeback. If anyone can do what this is against this side, it's us. I don't care if there's a couple players missing or and I'm also thinking about lessons as well. I'm sort of banking on Ferg. I'm like, he'll have a plan for us.
Also,
he'll learn from
the 09 final, we didn't play Park. And Park G was a big game player who had that energy to maybe unsettle their midfield. And when we played Park, we thought maybe now we'll see what we should have saw in 09. Obviously, it didn't go to plan, but Park G playing, it felt like something could be done there. But obviously, the big talk before the game was just no Berber, man. I remember feeling devastated about that,
It was a shock, honestly, right? Because for context, anyone who wasn't cognizant during the season or whatever, Berbatov was Man United's top scorer in the Premier League. He won the Golden Boot alongside Carlos Tevez, 20 goals.
And although 19 in it.
Yeah, and I think 19 or 20, one of the two, right? But although it was a slow end to the season for him, definitely he had that FA Cup semi-final where I think Fergie really maybe lost a lot of faith in him there. He was still a huge player for us. So that was a big call from Fergie to leave him completely out of the team because, you can think maybe we're not going to have much of the ball. Can Berbatov affect it? But compared to, with all due respect, Michael Owen at that point in his career,
Yeah, he was
that
finished.
felt like a bit of a slap in the face to
was done.
Berbatov.
That
Yeah.
was Fergie's excuse, wasn't it? That Owen could offer more off the bench. And I remember at the time as a fan, kind of, because you just trust what Fergie says, justified it in my head. Like, if Owen's got pace, like he'd come in and run in behind and do something. But then you think about the way the game went, and we're going to get to that. Berbatov holding the ball up would have relieved a lot of pressure for us if he could have got into that. And he's the kind of player that probably could play for that Barcelona team. Do you know what I mean? So like maybe him playing instead of Hernandez, or even being able to come off the bench when it's 1-1, hold that ball up, bring Rooney and the rest into play. Maybe tactically it would have been better, but
Sir Alex had this though, didn't he? Where like, remember when Rude was sitting on the bench as well
For
in the
Zaha,
cup
yeah.
final,
Carling Cup final.
Exactly. Sometimes he has this thing where like the player's got the trust and everything's fine, and then he'll make a decision, and sometimes he might rue that decision. He'll talk about it in his book. He'll talk about it in interviews afterwards, and he'll like, that was too early. Like how I'm not saying that Berbatov is of Stam, is of Keane, is of Beckham, is of Van Nistelrooy, but in terms of Fergie not being afraid in that time to be like, no, this is what I think's best. I think you're struggling a little bit, or I'm going to go this way, and stand on that then. And then us as fans, when you go, you might be surprised, but you still go, nah, it's Fergie.
He's got the best interest
I'm riding
of the
out
team,
with you.
yeah.
But like you said, like Fergie was also good at sending messages, isn't it? As to when players were maybe not wanted anymore, or
Yeah.
You
like
find
say,
out.
lost faith in them. And that's another game I've rubbed out of my memory, that semi-final in the cup. And when Lyes mentioned that, it
Triggered you.
it's kind of like, I love Berbatov though. I remember being engaged in, like I loved Carlos Tevez as well, but I remember in Tevez's last season, I think he only scored 5 league goals. And the whole thing amongst the fans at that point was Berbatov or Tevez. Berbatov's lazy, Tevez does this
still
and that.
hadn't signed him,
Fergie, sign him up, all that stuff getting chanted at games. And I remember like going, Berbatov's like, what are we doing here? Like, Tevez has only scored 5 league goals. You know
To
what I
be
mean?
fair to Tevez, he was like 4th choice at that point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was such a need to play Berbatov because he was a record signing. I know it's taking away a little bit from the game, but I look back and I think that's one of Fergie's bigger mistakes. I think Tevez was so huge to the way United wanted to play, and Berbatov gave us a different edge, but I don't think it ever was the same. I even listened to the way Rooney talks about Tevez. Like, that was his favorite
was a
teammate.
joke.
The way they played off each other. I think that might have been one where Fergie possibly got it wrong. But if we're looking at both these teams, I mean, United, it's an unorthodox team, right? Fabio didn't play that much, but injuries required him to come into the team. Valencia coming back from injury, he's in the team as well too. And Hernandez leading the line. He had such a great debut campaign. But then you look at the Barca side. And this is what a lot of people consider to be the greatest club side, some people say ever, but at least in the modern era.
No, it is.
100%.
We're all in
think there's a
agreement here.
doubt.
Yeah,
That is-
I'm playing political here. I agree.
No,
Yeah, I
it's,
think
it's,
so,
it's facts, bro. And I think there's no shame. First of all, there's no shame in saying that's the team that turned you over twice. Well, I know their team was slightly different.
For the most part. Messi, Xavi, Iniesta,
But the core nucleus of those Hall of Famers, bro, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about 4 of the best to ever do it. Well, actually 5, including Daniel.
I mean, I think if you even look
Also,
at
I think Gerard Piqué is probably Spain's best ever centre-back.
it's underrated for sure. So underrated. I mean, Pedro.
Ramos. Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's.
But I think Piqué is better than Ramos. I think Ramos is.
He was underrated.
A great leader
He was
and
always the
stuff.
target.
I liked Piqué more. I personally did. Yeah.
I love Ramos and how much of a shithouse he can be. But Piqué for me is a Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? And I think he was unbelievable.
was
One of the
real.
things I know, I'm just looking at this now. Like we had Nani on the bench, right? Nani, unbelievable player, and we've gone with Valencia and Park G. Maybe if you drop, I know it sounds wild, you drop Giggs, put Park G in the middle, and then you play Nani. It gives their fullback something to think about going the other way. Do you know what I mean?
Remember, and especially it leads on to my next point.
Look at the work Dani Alves is gonna do
And
on that
also,
side.
it leads to my point for the next point I was going to make. The run up to the final for both these games. Ryan Giggs was so good for Man United in this Champions League run. Honestly, the games against Schalke, the games against Chelsea in the round of 16, Marseille. I think outside of Rooney, Giggs was probably Man United's best
in
player
form.
in
Yeah,
those
he's playing
games.
in
So I
form.
think he was always a shoe-in to play. But
And I
going
think
up against
those
Barca is
moments,
different.
Champions League finals,
you want to
need
get
your
Ryan Giggs.
big
yeah.
The better
you know
players
what I
on the pitch.
Ryan Giggs he was always involved in these games anyways, right? Like you're not going to drop Ryan Giggs for a Champions League final for the most part.
Or you drop Hernandez and you go, you get Park, congest that midfield, get Nani in there.
Could have played him off there. I think the problem that we
Could have
had,
played Valencia right
and I
back.
remember, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember Rio talking about this when I stupidly took in what he was saying a few years back because I've always wanted to know like how he felt in that.
Yeah.
And one of the big things he was talking about was the contrast in style of them trying to go after Barcelona when the team's not comfortable in doing that. And he says there was a big moment where he voiced that to Sir Alex in the lead up to it. Like, I disagreed with the tactics. Like, I don't think we should go after them, boss vibe. And he's saying that basically we used to dominate all the average teams or even all the good teams. We were so much quicker in transition. Obviously, we had the Stardust. We were reigning champion, like we're Man United, right? But he said against the top teams, and he went until he said it, I was like, yeah, I remember it like that. We were actually dogged, compact, and used to hit teams on the break. And he said that the fact that they had to come away from something that had worked for them for so much and go after a team like them, he said he think they got that wrong. And it wasn't until he started dropping that, and he was on about how him and Vida was like so out of their comfort zone. He used the phrase, they took our souls. Like he was saying, Messi dropping off the pocket into the half spaces. Me and Vida don't want to be there. Yeah. And then when Vida did jump to go to it, he got megged, mate. See you later. And then he was like, you look at Pedro and Villa high and wide, occupying space, and then Messi's dropping in, then they're coming in. Patrice, he said for the goal, when you look back at one of the goals where Pedro scores, and Vida's just going, why did you jump? Why are you there? Why are you there? But Patrice's like, bro, they're coming from everywhere.
That's why playing a midfield 4 is wild against that team.
Yeah, 100%.
It's wild. Congest that midfield.
Yeah.
Congest it.
You got it wrong,
it's
man.
so odd because
you got Fletch on the bench as well. Like
it's so odd too because Fergie towards his latter years, I always felt in Europe, Fergie we had a way of playing in Europe in England, and too often we tried bringing it into the Champions League 4-4-2. It's not working against these teams that play 3 in midfield, Milan, like these continental sides. But I think he started to slowly get it right the last few years. That the final when he went to Chelsea, years after that, this almost felt like we were going back to what works in the Prem, but what doesn't work in Europe.
Thing as well. I think
definitely
Fergie
think so.
was like,
stop that for you.
Watch this. We're going to go toe for toe, and we're going to bat it.
Which is crazy to me because I think our team in 2009 is way better than this side in terms of personnel, in terms of where we were as a side, and we got better than
had
that
Ronaldo,
game as well,
bro.
too.
Had Ronaldo then.
But while Barca are only getting better, so yeah, I think the approach to this game was all wrong, and I think from the word go, you could kind of feel it. I mean, there's half chances for United throughout this game, right? Outside of the goal that they scored, there's half chances. There's one ball over the top. Valdez gets there before Rooney marginally, but for the most part, you just feel from the word go, Barca have their foot on the ball, and we're chasing shadows. And after 27 minutes, the opener that was threatening to come throughout the game comes in the form of Pedro Rodriguez. Fantastic pass from Xavi, and he finishes it past Van der Sar. And this is maybe the first incident where you look at the goal. It's a wonderful goal. It's a deserved goal. Should Van der Sar be doing better there?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was tied to the chair to watch these highlights earlier. Like I didn't want to watch them, but no, that goal, like we went through the goals, and you look at a few of them, and you're.
It was his
should
last
you be
game
doing
for
better
United.
there? You know, you kind of see Van der Sar maybe want to commit to the right-hand side, and then he kind of left, and he just stands in the middle and lets it go near post. I think that's poor goalkeeping. Obviously, we love Edwin van der Sar. He was great for Manchester United. I think this was his last season. And you take all of those things into account, but it was sloppy goalkeeping. I think even on Messi's goal, it's...
Yeah.
Maybe you should save that. David Villa's unbelievable strike.
Touch and go,
Maybe he has to move his feet really quick to get that. But the first 2 goals you look at and you just think...
I think that's indicative of like how the 2 teams were as well, because you get, like you said, that was his last season. We're getting, even though it's still a high level, like the worst version of Van der Sar. He's nearly on his way out. You look at the Barcelona team, they're approaching prime and peak powers. And when we were watching it back, when you said we just tied to the chair, like if Onana would have done had some of those moments there, you would have been questioning. Because Edwin was so good, you still expected the fundamentals to be there. But that speed of thought, that speed to move his feet to get into position, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, and that was consequently why.
Was this that season when there was a season where Van der Sar broke his nose? And every time a shot used to come near his face,
he went on it.
Like you could tell, like his nose must have been sore, bro. Because every time, I don't know, it might not have been this season. It might have been 08, 09 or something like that. But Yeah, I just remember that being a period of Van der Sar as well.
Being a bit shaky.
Like his nose had broken.
You're spot on, though. I mean, Giggs is out at this point, 38, 39 years old.
Wild.
Rio missed a lot of the season, if I remember, through injury. He came back.
That's when his back injuries started.
Yeah, he missed a bit. Vidic was really good this year. I think Rio was in and out of the team at this point. Van der Sar, like we said, last season ever as Man United goalkeeper. So this was a team that weren't at their... I think only Rooney was really at the peak of his power at this point.
It was a Rooney that had suffered a few big injuries along the way as well.
Yeah.
So while he was still there, we know Wayne Rooney was probably a little bit better the years before. But you also look at both teams, right? And the big miss from 09 is Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
We sold him for a world record fee. Sorry to get my soapbox here again about the Glazers. But we sold him for a world record fee. We brought in Obertan, Valencia and Michael Owen. We hardly spent any of that money. And you think if we just reinvest that money properly, you think about some of the players that were available at that time, Benzema and all these kind of players. I think Mesut Ozil as well. This was the season where Wayne Rooney and Fergie fell out. Fergie had his speech about the cow in the field and the grass always be greener and all those kind of things. I think Rooney wanted to sign Mesut Ozil and we didn't even go after him. And then he scored his goal, obviously, against Rangers in this Champions League campaign when he came back, scored the penalty, we win 1-0. But like that was the underlying narrative of this season. Fergie had fell out with Rooney. Rooney signs a new deal, but the issues are there that United haven't really invested. And that all comes down to the Glazers from 08, 09, well, the end of 09, not reinvesting that Cristiano Ronaldo
And it did
money.
carry on because when you go to when David Moyes first got to the club,
similar.
like it was, can we get Rooney to stay still? Like it was still, and you're right, it kind of domino effect from that point on of the lack of investment.
But that came about in Moyes' first season because Fergie tries to get rid of him again
the year prior.
in 12-13.
Remember towards the end of the season?
I think
There was
Sir
something,
Bobby and
there was a
Sir
rift
Alex
there, bro.
didn't want him to get the United record, you know.
You reckon?
That's
a big talk. Wow.
I think...
Why?
I don't know.
He just didn't want it to be
they
a Scouser
fell out
fan.
in it. Maybe, I don't know, but...
Conspiracy.
I feel like there was people at hand that didn't want Rudy to get the record. That's conspiracy.
That's mad conspiracy.
Remember we spoke to Waza the night he received his award recently, and he was actually talking about this Barca team and how he had the opportunity to join them in that period where he was falling out. And I think that just kind of speaks volumes. I think Vidic was the other player at this point in the team that was really playing at an elite level. But it's him and Rooney really that can get into a side like that. And I think it shows Fergie's brilliance at this point to continue keeping United relevant, but also shows the slow decline that's starting to happen throughout the team.
Darren Gibson scored in the semi-final. On the bench.
This is so mad at it. This is why though we had. I'm not going to call it delusion because we weren't a team and we're not a club that doesn't have like the real life evidence to suggest why we always believe or what we were. We're not a flash in the pan club, right? We had eras of dominance. You look at the free-peat that we did in the 7-9, etc., and winning the Champions League previous to that and 99. We always had that feeling that like if the chips are down, if this player's not quite at it, if he's been out injured, if they're that great, if it's against Pep, so what? Yeah. We are Man United.
Can do it,
but I'm telling you, Lyes, after this game or during the game as well, the things were hitting me of going, there's still certain levels, bro. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we had some Hall of Fame
team have levels over everybody.
It's a joke.
Yeah. And like obviously now we know what this Barca team have achieved, innit? So we know they're
So it was legit.
At that time, we were in the middle of it, so we didn't really know.
You still felt
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when you look back at United in the 90s and stuff, it's like, we know now they were a great team. At that time, I'm shitting myself.
Yeah,
like,
scared every time.
The title race happening and you're like, oh my God, we might not win the league.
Yeah.
So like, I think this Champions League final cemented their greatness.
100%.
Speak to me about the Rooney goal, right? Because it's a rare forwards forward from United. There wasn't much going for us in this game.
Giggs was offside.
Yeah. Don't bring that up, man. Don't bring that up, bro. It's perfectly legit.
Non-VAR era. Giggs is perfectly onside.
Yeah.
Man United, they get back into this game. Kind of like you're saying, right?
If anyone
can do it. And this is, I think, when the whole fan base, who for 20 or so, 30 or so minutes have been demoralized, hoping for a miracle, we get a little bit of respite.
And this is where, when I said about the guys I was watching it with, this is where like I'm
You're looking at all of them like,
I don't even know what's going on, sorry. I'm going.
I mean, it's too late.
It's too late now. The editor's got a lot of work to do. You've messed it up as well, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just follow your lead. Like, that's when I remember going mad.
Yeah.
Like, nearly breaking the glass in the conservatory. You know, are you mad?
Yeah.
It's Rooney. This is Man United you're dealing with. You know that chest of like, and this is what I'm saying. If we were gonna do it, it was gonna be like that. Absolute dominance. When the first Barcelona goal went in, like I said, it was coming. It was coming. You knew. And even towards the end of the first half, like you could feel like maybe there's something. And if anyone was gonna do it, it's Wazza. If anyone's probing, even I know we'll get there, but as the game played out and it was clear we were gonna lose, he was still the only man who's got something in there. And the way he swept the ball into it's such a Rooney goal. You know, like first time, instep, across the body.
It's a great goal.
He's scored so many goals like that.
I love that for Wayne Rooney getting his Champions League final goal. Like, in this game of great players, and Wayne Rooney for me is one of the greatest. Like, him having that, you know, I know it didn't turn out to be an iconic moment. We didn't go on to win it, but in that moment.
Do you remember the punditry? Clive Tildesley goes, the best moment yet in the mercurial career of
Wayne
Wayne
this
Rooney.
is his best moment, yeah.
This is like the moment, man.
Will he score a more important goal?
I haven't watched this game with
something like
commentary.
that, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Rooney.
Yeah.
Will he score a more important goal than an equaliser?
It felt that big,
Yeah.
Adam's like, yeah.
I was watching it in the hotel with no comms, and now like I've never seen it, bro.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've seen his goal in loads of compilations of his
Yeah.
career, but I've never seen the game like with commentary. Like it's man.
And
that
I
moment.
agree with you. It was the finish as well, too. The way he's like, he just slammed that in. It was like everyone
Rooney
just
goal, man.
completely, like when he scored, everyone just screamed. I remember I told you off camera, this is the first time I ever swore in front of my dad. I was like, let's fucking go. And he looks at me like, how do you know that word?
You grounded. You were watching the game where you grounded to
I was lucky like with my dad, like because I was going to games till I was like 5, 6. Not at that age, but I remember when I got to like 10, I remember going to that like, can I swear when I come into the ground? Because like all these songs are popping up and all that. Like, can I swear?
Can you get involved?
Yeah, but as soon as you leave this stadium, you
Don't
best
tell your
not
mum.
say nothing.
All can go during the 90
So I
minutes,
get it all
everything
in.
works.
Don't say I let you.
I get it all in.
But I just remember shouting like, wow, we're in this. That's how it felt like, wow, we are fully in this.
But can
Go ahead.
that feeling didn't last long.
You said we got to have time.
But even at one, this is why I hate this game, bro. Even at 1-1, like the way I describe it was like death by 1,000 passes.
100%,
It was.
bro.
It was just even at 1-1, you know this is over. Even at 2-1, you're like, we're not getting back into this
Do you
game.
feel like that's
too
hindsight
good.
though, or even at the time you actually
No,
felt
at
that?
the time I felt it's the most helpless I've ever felt.
Really? That's interesting.
As a United fan,
because my delusion kicked in. That's why I'm
Yeah,
like,
same,
this
same.
is why I don't care if the chips are down, bro.
Maybe at 1-1.
We're gonna
At
do
1-1,
this.
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe at 1-1, but
Yeah.
just the way the second half
quickly in the
starts,
second
like
half,
just-
yeah.
It's
I'm not
just
gonna
like
lie,
a
when
realization that
when halftime
inevitability
went,
that
I
they'll
just
score.
breathed. Halftime went, I was just like, okay, we survived literal hell for
Ferguson's
45
gonna get
minutes.
into them at halftime.
Yeah, the whole goal for me was don't be out of the game by half. I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
relieved, but I hear you, right? I mean, very quickly in the second half, it's apparent. We haven't changed anything. We haven't had some rousing speech that's going to get us up.
Fergie said, he said it in multiple interviews. He's very well publicized. I mean, whether or not it would have transpired this way is another thing, but we'll believe in me, Sir Alex. He said, I needed to change it and get Park on Messi because he was playing on the wing and obviously Park was. And he said, in the second half, I should have changed it. And he said, if I'm convinced if I would have done that, we would have won. Now, listen. Listen, Sir Alex,
I thought
right?
that was the 09 final.
No, Park didn't play in the 09 final.
Yeah.
They
No,
blurred
but
together
I
at
thought
some-
that was his whole.
Yeah, no,
Like
it
if I
was-
played Park,
they-
Yeah,
blurred
no,
they
he
blurred
also
together
says it in
these two
this one,
finals, man.
where he says I should have changed it at half time and put him on. And Rio's documented as well. And listen, it's easy for anyone, let alone Sir Alex,
think
to
we could
be
have
like,
4
if I'd
Parks
have done
on
that,
them,
we
man.
would have won. For me, looking back at, like you say, Adam, like the demolition of what it was, how like helpless we felt. I'm saying this is one of them. There's nothing we could have done. I'm saying, like, there's changes you can do. Yeah, you could have started Fletcher. We spoke about Berbatov being up. Let's just be honest, bro. I'm saying
I do think
there's
Berber and
nothing
Nani
we could have done
changed
to win
this,
that game.
You're an
They're
optimist.
just too
I think
good.
that's
You
what
go
it is.
Valencia.
Adam
You go
is-
Valencia at right back. Yeah, Nani at right wing. Park G comes into the middle. You get
I'm saying it could have been
there.
more competitive, bro. But
You guys ever watched
They're too
Marvel, where Doctor Strange is saying there's like a billion different scenarios and only one of them can work? I genuinely think there's a billion different lineups we could have put out. I don't know if one of them worked.
They wouldn't have
I'm not
worked,
gonna
bro.
lie.
They wouldn't have worked.
Every scenario against this team, we come out.
it just took. You're talking like, imagine if you're Carrick, yeah, in centre mid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, and obviously Giggs and that in there, Rooney dropping off to try and help.
Yeah.
And you just got triangles all over you. You ain't seeing the ball for ages because you might try and go give a little press to Iniesta. His shoulders drop, he's popping it to Busquets. Xavi's getting involved, you ain't getting it. Then all of a sudden, Dani Alves is appearing on the invert or whatever on the gallop. The ball's going out there. Then Messi's dropping off the front. Rio's going, right, Mike, he's in there. Can you push up a little bit? Vida, nah, stay with me. Vida's going, nah, Pat, I need you next to me. But you can't do nothing, bro. And the rotation.
These are Champions League winners, multiple time league winners, internationals that are literally
playing a 2 against that 3 is crazy anyway.
Trust me, Valencia right back.
You
let it go, bro.
Carrick, Park G, Fletch in the midfield 3, Giggs on the left, Rooney up top.
Bro,
Barcelona 2-1. Fair enough.
Yeah, it would. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would have been more competitive. We definitely could have done something to make it more competitive. But that, like Rio did say, like that quote, he said they took our souls, bro.
He talks about this moment, Rio, where again Vidic and Rio are stepping forward, trying to chase Messi, and they end up arguing with each other after one of the plays when it goes out, and like steps. And apparently Busquets, between the two of them, goes ball, basically taunting them to say like, all you guys can do is fight and tackle, and this. We're on a different level playing field. He said, I think Rio said it's the most humiliating moment of my career.
Yeah,
like
because that's what I'm saying. It's a sense of, and that transmits into the fan in me at the time, more so towards the end of the game. And like Max says, you don't watch it back. You ain't trying to really go back that far and be like, right, remember we got our backsides handed to us by Barca. But it is the truth. When you hear some of the greats of our game, all-timers, which Rio and Vidic and these type of guys are. You know, you've heard Scholes talk about this game as well, even though he didn't start. And the way he even speaks about the 09 final, when you think about the semi-final that we had before that when he scored, he was like playing against Messi. Like when they explain, when the top guys explain what it actually is to play against these guys, as a fan, I'm not gonna lie, that's my copium. It makes me feel like, do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. Like, there was nothing you could have done. They're just setting pace and setting levels. And this was when Spain as well, the dominance that Spain had of this time. Like, it just filtered through to the club level.
That Spain team for me was so boring, bro. Like, I remember, was it the one the World Cup with 8 goals or something like that? It's like, bro, you stink, get out of here. I didn't really like watching that Spain team. It bored the hell out of me. Messi's the difference here. He makes it, and obviously you got Dani Alves, obviously don't play for Spain, and there's a few others. But Messi was the difference. He brought that joy to that team. And
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about the GOAT debate, right? Me personally, as much as I love what Ronaldo did for us, I think Messi's the greatest player of all time. And I think there's an argument to be made. This is arguably the greatest player of all time at the absolute peak of his powers. This might be the best version of the best player ever.
You know, one of the things for me is, I think the World Cup kind of maybe cemented that, like, although a lot of people held that opinion before that. Winning so many Champions Leagues is so big. And I know what you're saying as a player, like just his abilities on the ball and his goal-scoring abilities. But in terms of what they delivered and the output that they had, there wasn't a huge amount of difference. And for me, the Champions League bigger than the World Cup because, not bigger, but better. More difficult to win than the World Cup, like, personally. I know nobody really agrees with me on that. That's fine.
Why do you think that?
Because you're playing, bro, you can play Saudi Arabia and that and win the World Cup.
Yeah.
I know Argentina lost, funny
enough. You can play Bodo Glimt and that to win.
Yeah, but you're almost all the time you're coming up against the great teams. Like, look at some of our runs to Champions League finals. Like, you can get lucky in some of these World Cup draws and who you play.
I just think the World Cup, though, the fact that you can't control who you play with, you're just given what you're given.
It's your nation.
I think that's what makes it even better, to be honest with you.
Do you think it's harder as well? Do you think it's harder to win the World Cup or Champions?
I think it is harder to win the World Cup also, for what I just said, but also it comes around every 4 years.
Yeah.
So the Champions League...
So much changes in that time.
Exactly. You could lose the Champions League 1 year and then you could go back with the same squad, or you even sign players. The World Cup, you might have a period where it's a golden generation and 4 years later, Like you
It's
look at
not
Belgium,
anymore.
Hazard's already gone. Lukaku's washed. De Bruyne is on his last legs. The margins are so fine and the opportunity is so small. That's what takes it above. But I hear what you're saying.
I know I'm in the minority.
Yeah,
here,
no,
right?
I'm
just.
You're
always,
arguing for Ronaldo, by the way. You're not arguing for Valencia here.
I've always felt like most of the teams in the World Cup would struggle in the Championship. Probably. You know what I mean? It's like
fair enough.
In the group stages, yeah.
But anyways, we're talking Messi. If you don't want to say greatest, if you hold Ronaldo, that's fine. But okay, I'm going to say the best for me in terms
probably
of
is the greatest.
I just think this was it for Messi. I think this version of Messi, I know he went and won stuff
still done
after,
mad stuff
but I think the quickness that he had at this point,
Sure.
like I think this was the most devastating version of Messi.
That changed from the right wing.
Yeah.
Of like, even then he's
a problem.
Let's get it.
But when you put him in the center of the park,
when he started going there and he was more central to be able to link up with the likes of Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta with the supporting cast and had, those guys on the wings. And then he became the nucleus. That was the rebirth of Messi. That was like the regen of like, okay, this is the player he's gonna go on to be. And like, I don't care what type of defender you are or what type of central midfielder you are, you could have been prime Kante where you can get after him and do you know what I'm saying? Kante's probably experienced that before. You can be a really aggressive centre-back who's super quick and you think you could. He had an answer for everything. He knew how to ask questions of every player who played against him, questions that they can't answer, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to have to find something in their toolbox that they don't possess to be able to stop him.
United have been great over the years of, like, some good Arsenal teams, like, all right, cool, we'll just kick you off the park.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things you overlook with Messi, like, you look at him and you think, I can stick
Scrawny
one on him, and he's not gonna want it. Put one on him.
So strong.
First of all, you can't get near him to put one on him, and if you do, he's gonna bounce back up and do the same thing over and over and over again. And everyone will talk about his ability, his dribbling ability, his skills, his goals, his assists, whatever. But I think that's one of his biggest traits because without that, he can't do those other things. The bravery is just unbelievable to just keep his. The injuries that this guy must have and like the bumps and bruises that comes off the pitch with every game. You can't kick him off the pitch. And that's annoying. Yeah. Because you need to.
Yeah. It's annoying, it's inevitable.
You need to just
Why won't you stay down?
Yeah, bro, just stay down, man.
And he grabs the second. And again, it's a moment from Van der Sar that you're questioning, should he do better? I think he should. But if anyone was really going to have his say on this game from a goal-scoring point of view, it was going to be Messi. I think we give him too much time and space. I understand at the same time, we're already at 6s and 7s in this situation. But how are you giving Messi in this form that he's in? The amount of time to pick up the ball, cut in, and then shoot.
Because it's like Flex says, though, they've been in the game where, all right, I've already tried closing him down. He pops it off to someone else. Now I have to sit back, like, mentally I'm gone, physically I'm gone, my legs are gone.
We're talking 54th minute.
Bro, that's too long. Lyes, 54 minutes, bro, of doing doggy sprints, going into positions you don't want to be in. And again, when we talk about us in the Prem, how we're dominating, we ain't coming up against this. Yeah. And this is what I realised when I thought, like, well, I still do. Like, we had greats in our team. Like, you see, when I think of Scholes, I'm saying, bro, Scholes, bro. Control any game. Hit any pass.
This is Paul Scholes that came back from retirement, though, right?
No, this was his last season. This is the last game before he retired for the first time.
Yeah, and then he came back for the 13 one and we won it. Yeah, but like this, I'm looking. Obviously, Giggs is at that age now, but I'm going like he's an all-time. He's Giggs, bro. It's Rio. I'm going. It's Rio. It's Vidic. It's Evra. It's Van der Sar. These to me are like the best ever players. Like that, do you know what I mean? I wasn't watching La Liga every week. I'm aware of what those guys are, but I'm like, but it's our best against their best. Do you know what I mean? Even though that's not the best version of ourselves. But I think that's what you're saying, that like the levels that it set was like, oh yeah, I remember there's a level above this. Yeah.
Which is crazy to say. Fifth final as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fifth.
Yeah, I mean, Everett was one of the best left backs in the world at this point, man. Yeah,
mad,
I think that's what it is. This game really just made you recognize we are a great team. We're a great team, no question about it. We've won 4 out of 5 Premier Leagues in a row. We've been to 3 finals in 4 years. We're a great team. We have maybe the best manager of all time.
Yeah, it's not enough.
These guys are. This is the 2017 Warriors, man. Honestly, like it's just a different level.
That's exactly what
it's like they were good and they had KD. Like, come on, man. Like it's a different level, man.
Rematch is powered by our friends at Betway. Betway is your home for weekly free bets, free spins, and so much more. Don't miss out. Head to Betway today. Bet the responsible way.
The game doesn't get much better for United from there. I mean, it's just attack after attack, wave after a wave. At this point, I think we were all hoping for it to either just be over or maybe one miracle to fall down on us and we find some kind, maybe an own goal from Abidal or something like that. It never came. And then the third one comes through David Villa. Again, more brilliant play from Messi. Cuts in, falls out.
Best goal of the night, isn't it?
Yeah. It's probably their best, and it's just a fantastic finish from David Villa. Curls it into the top corner to cap off what was a historic night for Barcelona and a really humbling experience, not just for United players, but for fans. I think that's the most humbling I've ever felt.
Was that their
after
third
a game.
Champions League?
Yeah, it was their third. It was their fourth at the time. Yeah.
That is the most humble. That is the most humble you thought, because obviously, that's when I started to obviously regret where I was as well. They're saying, you thought you was going to do that. So I'm like, you don't.
I mean, you say that though, right? But Chelsea had lost to Barca 2 years ago. Arsenal had lost en route to them. They were beating everybody, man. They beat Madrid in the semi-finals.
Wow. We shouldn't have played them.
Oh, yeah.
We should have played
We did
Chelsea.
that game a few episodes ago, actually.
Yeah. 09, we should have played Chelsea.
Yeah.
And that was it. You just have that overall sense of like, what could we have done? Like, and you just, like, that's where I do agree with Matt. Like, it just felt hopeless, dejected, bruised. And that, obviously, you know what it's like if you just lose a game of football, even now, you just fear for all the other things. You think, oh my God, when are we going to win? After that, I started to think mad stuff. Like, I thought like, we're going to be all right. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I thought the dressing down was so bad, and I feel bad as a United fan. Like, I started to question, like, our own guys. I was like, we're gonna bounce back from this, innit? We're gonna be all right. Like, we'll be fine. But that's how bad the beating was.
It's our last great team.
Yeah, exactly.
I know we won the league in 2012-13. But
so it proves that probably I was right to be like, are we going to be all right? Because we was, even though we went on to win the league in 13, like you say, we got blood out of a stone out of everything.
You know when you lose a game, right? You're either angry or you're annoyed or you're finding excuses for why you lost. Or, the referee, or the coach should have done something different here. This is the only time I think I've ever watched the Man United game where we've lost. And honestly, I've just accepted it. I've just been like, what can you do? There's not I know you keep mentioning lineups. I didn't think, if we had played Berbatov, we could have won. I didn't think, on a different day. if I just accepted it. I accepted that.
Also, 09, we had moments. I remember we
started really well.
09, I was annoyed.
Ronaldo had a chance. There was a few chances, and you go,
there's something here for us.
Both teams are good.
Yeah.
They just won it. This wasn't that.
Yeah.
This wasn't that. This was, I said, death by 1,000 passes. It's the most helpless I've ever felt as a Manchester United fan, particularly against Alex Ferguson. There was just, it's like, where do you even go from here? Like, what?
It's because it was the pinnacle of football, all the eyes on that. Like you said, this is the crown. Who is the best? Do you know what I mean? And it was such a unfair fight.
I even remember.
Do you think our 08 team beats this team?
No. I think it's the best team ever, bro.
I
love our 08 team. I think it's the best team ever, bro.
No, it is. It's the best club side.
More competitive.
More competitive for sure.
More competitive for sure, because you got Ronaldo, that 100% makes a difference. Yeah. And that would have been Ronaldo a few years older as well, and wiser. Tevez would have been there as well. So, yes.
Tevez would make a huge difference.
Damn.
I just think this team, everything came together. I even remember after the game, and the commentary still on YouTube, the punditry, sorry. It's Gary Neville and Graham Souness, and they're talking about Messi. And I think Jamie Redknapp is like saying, because Graham Souness after this game said, Lionel Messi is the best player I've ever seen in my life. He said that he's the greatest player I've ever seen. And Messi was 22 after this game, right? So he said...
Is that how old he was then?
Yeah, he's 22. 22 or 23. And Graham Souness said, this is the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. And Jamie Redknapp's like, Maradona, like, he has to win the World Cup, this and that. And Graham Souness was like, no, I've never seen a player like Lionel Messi. And these are the conversations that this team and this player were in. And that's, again, why I go back to United, like, I just don't think there's anything we can do. I think we came up against a team in their perfect moment with players in their perfect moment, and that's just the way it is. I think this team, if you put them in different eras, like this one, for example, they could win numerous Champions Leagues, numerous leagues. But we were just unlucky. We shared our greatest ever era, in my opinion, or one of our greatest ever eras, with maybe the best team in history.
It's similar to, not that I have any sympathy for them, but it is similar to like when you look at how like Liverpool going up against like the City team. where they got one
Facts.
Premier League, they got 98
And
points.
maybe in
whatever it
different
was.
eras they win more, but you're up against the team that are defining.
Sorry, Liverpool, you only got one, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because Pep said no. Do you know what I mean? Pep said no, and Pep was saying no to us then. Do you know what I mean? And the guy's still, and this is where, listen, for me, Sir Alex will always be the greatest manager of all time. The way he kept it, reinventing teams, what he had to do, using kids throughout the academy to do it, etc., etc. He's still my GOAT, but I'm not one of those United fans. Like, I know Pep's at City now. I can still appreciate how good the guy is. And I know sometimes it's easy to say, come on, man, flipping out, give Sean Dyche that team. They still reign supreme. You've got the greatest ever. It must have been easy. He still made them better.
I think 7 of their teams from their academy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you're looking at what?
true.
PK,
Valdez?
Yeah, Valdez, PK, Busquets,
Xavi.
Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, and Pedro. 7.
Yeah, so to be fair, it kind of was like La Masia, but it's still, I think it's disingenuous to Pep. He's, even as a United fan, where he does my head in and I hate the dominance. I can't wait for him to just leave, bro. I just want it to just all crumble. Just get, I don't want to swear again, bro. Just get out, bro.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's disingenuous to suggest that, like, oh, he's just not that good, bro. It's just because he needed money, and we're just saying that to round up the other fans.
Do you remember before the game, the press conference, where they asked Fergie, if you could take one player from this Barcelona team, who would you take? And he laughed and he goes, that might be the stupidest question I've ever had in my life.
I remember that.
Mascherano.
Even him, by the way. Do you know what? I'm glad you spoke about him, actually. Even him, playing centre back,
Yeah.
And you look at him, you go, what, 5'8", 5'9",
not tall at all,
whatever.
5',
And you go, nah,
He's not really a centre back in this team.
Yeah,
bro.
he's another midfielder.
He's in midfield for the
They
whole
hold on
game.
the ball
bro.
90 minutes, man.
He's not playing.
Abidal was the weak link, bro.
Mascherano.
The Abidal would have been.
Oh,
do you know what I'm saying? Abidal's the one you look at, maybe
If
go,
Abidal's your weak link,
that's what
our
I'm
weak
saying,
link
bro.
is Fabio.
Is this, did Abidal get over the health stuff after this, or was this before?
He had gotten over cancer before this. Before
So
this,
this was the comeback Abidal.
Yeah. And
you know
they
what
gave
I
him the armband basically to lift the trophy at the end. Incredible, right?
The stories that have been written in this game, bro.
What's the moment of this game for you? There's a moment for me that stands out real quick, and it didn't show in the highlights we were watching. But when it pans over to Fergie and his hand is shaking like this.
It's like Arthur.
That's the moment of the game for me.
Arthur, yeah.
This is what I consider the greatest manager of all time. Just lost for
No
ideas.
idea, yeah.
That for me is the defining image of this game.
But then I think that comes down to him probably going, right, we're going to go toe to toe with them. And then probably thinking,
What have I done?
what have I done? And he knows, he can see Father Time's coming. This
might be my last
chance. You know, and
I think it's also though, like, how the hell has it gotten to this? Like, how are we getting beat this badly? I think a part of him as well too cannot accept the fact we're getting beat this bad. Like, as fans, we're saying, okay, we accept it. But I think he's
not in
probably
his nature. That's why I'm surprised.
he's such
It's not
a
in his
DNA.
DNA, yeah.
I'm surprised when you are both going, second half, I was still a little bit. Because that's how he
I was
felt as well.
deluded,
He
yeah.
felt like me, like, bro, this it's not happening.
It was up to
I was
the
just in a
second goal.
daze for the whole thing. Like, is this
Like
real?
you punched it, you just been punched
Is
up.
this real? And I remember Rooney's goal vividly, but the rest of it was just like,
Blur.
put me out of this misery. Like,
Yeah.
just kill me now.
I just
Sorry.
For me, it's less of a moment of like a camera panning or like a foul or a passage of play. It's just the second goal, bro.
Yeah.
No, my favourite
It's-
moment,
it's
my iconic moment is Wayne Rooney's goal in the Champions League final. Forget that. I'm not picking a Barcelona. I'm not having that as well.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney
It's
scored in the
insult to
Champions League
injury.
final. And when we've spoken about Wayne Rooney so much, and like I think he's the greatest English player ever. I think he's probably Manchester United's greatest player ever.
agreed.
And he's the Premier League GOAT in my opinion.
Agreed.
And we watched his career from remember the name Wayne Rooney, breaking through at 16, people umming and ahhing, is he going to be able to fulfill his potential? Has he done enough? And then you see him win the lot and score it in a Champions League final. That at the moment, it wasn't like it was already 3-0 and it's 1-1, do you know what I mean? He had to, he got a proper
He
celebration.
was really
out of it.
the figure of that post-Ronaldo era where everything around us I felt was coming to an end. It was crumbling. Glazer-nomics were... He felt
held it
like
up.
the only one that was
held it up,
keeping
bro.
it together. He
Yeah.
stayed when Tevez and Ronaldo
Battling for
left.
standards, battling for the
Yeah,
direction
man.
of the club.
Honestly.
What are we doing here? Who are we
And
signing?
then
What's
even
going
you
on?
see when Moyes comes in, and this is something I've kind of probably held against Vidic forever, but like Vidic is our captain and he just does one mid-season. Like he agrees to join Inter. I know he leaves at the end of the season, but just agrees to leave the club, and Wayne Rooney didn't stuck it out.
Yeah.
I know he probably had that record, like, I want to get that goal scoring record.
But you know it's more than that,
he
man.
stuck it out,
and I
man.
think the amazing thing about Wazza is, like Max says, like, firstly, the longevity and obviously doing it from 16 and actually materialising into everything you said he was going to be. But he's littered with big moments, big goals, standing up in finals,
100%.
scoring it against the top opposition, scoring the tough goals when you're 1-0 down, scoring the winners, scoring all types of goals, leading, sacrifice. What people don't talk about enough about Wayne Rooney, of how he's so good, of sacrificing his own game no matter how Man United was changing around him. You know, and that was so prime when you look at what it was with Tevez, Rooney.
Well, he was the 9 when we wanted him to be the 9.
But he
was
said
the
it
10,
himself,
was a
yeah,
left.
and he didn't even want to be a 9, right? He wanted to just play football. But he said
hated
it
it.
himself, right? It was never about individual awards for him. It was never about top scorer awards. He just wanted to win for the team. And
Now
that just
imagine
sums
if
up
he
Rooney.
did. You know how Ronaldo was like, I'm going to score all these goals.
Yeah, Rooney.
Imagine if Ronaldo, Rooney locked in like that.
I mean, the 2
He'd
seasons
have
he
like
did, he scored.
300,
He had 2
goals.
seasons where he locked in. 09, 10, 11, 12. I think he scored 30 goals in both of them, man. Like, he could have done it if he wanted to.
And then that 11-12 one as well, it's like,
Yeah.
is that when he does his metatarsal against
Nah, that was 09,
Bayern
10.
Munich?
There's a few, though. He's
09,
always
10,
injured
it's
as well,
like,
too, yeah.
he wins the Ballon d'Or that year.
Yeah, he's up there.
You know,
for
if he
sure.
don't break, I think if he don't do his foot, we possibly win the Champions League. He probably wins Ballon d'Or.
I love Rooney, man. And we talked to him that one night, right? And he, again, I'm bringing up this game because he told us specifically he never wanted to leave Man United. Like, he just wanted to play for United. Even in the midst of that it wasn't because
I don't
he
wanna
wanted.
leave.
He just wanted the club to be better. But he says the only club I would have ever left for was that Barca team, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they wanted me, and imagine me instead of David
Oh,
Villa.
God.
And still, he stayed with Man United when this team was calling for
You
him.
have to love and respect
He
everything
is.
he's
I
done
love
for us.
Rooney, man.
Do you know what
Seriously, I love
and
Rooney.
I don't even blame him for, like, you know, those lapses of, like, I might leave or this, that, you know, little things that go on. Because like Matt said, when the chips were down, mate, Rooney's been there every single time.
bro.
Like the first one though was about everything we've been complaining about. So Rooney's first transfer request, it was about everything we've been complaining about, not investing in the team,
Yeah.
Glazonomics, this, that, the other. After we just sold Ronaldo, we all felt the same way. And then the one in 12-13, that came about because he goes to Fergie, do you want me to be here next season or not? And Fergie goes, what, is this a transfer request? And starts telling everyone Rooney wants to leave. Like, he never really requested a transfer.
He's just asking, like, what's your plans for me and what's going on?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you know what I mean? So he's never, I know they kind of painted as 2 transfer requests. He didn't really.
You can never get me to turn on Rooney, man. Never. Man of the match. It's
I don't
Messi,
care.
isn't it?
Max, not, this is where Max is going to exit the chat. He's not giving them
it's
no
Messi.
I don't even remember
I got-
who officially got it.
Yeah, it must have
It's
been him.
probably
though, yeah.
Messi.
It must be
man. I
Messi.
mean, I got a lot of questions, right? Who gains this game from a legacy standpoint? It's probably Messi.
I
Who's
think
the man
it's
of the match?
Barcelona as a club though,
As a
because
club.
they gained.
As a dynasty.
Yeah.
It's the
I think
best
this
club
crowned them.
team
I think
ever.
this crowned
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was the crowning moment for them.
But the subplot was that Messi became that version of Messi and then took it and ran with it.
100%. Unsung hero of the match from a Barca point of view. Because I mean, United, I don't think we're going to
Probably
be getting...
Busquets, you know.
You
He's
reckon?
always unsung in that team. Isn't
Yeah.
He? Probably Busquets.
They're just that good. It's like, Abidal. I'm just going to say that then because the rest of them are just so much levels, bro.
Now, but
Like,
people didn't used to talk about Busquets like they talk about him now. Like, they didn't really talk
good,
about
man.
Busquets as about
It's
how
Xavi
good he is.
Iniesta would always
He's kind of
get
one of
the-
them players
yeah.
you can easily overlook during a game and not notice the little things that he's doing. But the guy played with wing mirrors. And he was just
joke, bro.
unbelievable. Like his touches,
Took
his,
it- he
his
played the game
body
at his
shape,
own pace,
everything.
honestly.
Joke.
Like Rodri's probably the closest version
yeah.
to him. Busquets is 2-3 times a player.
Facts.
Like it's
Yeah. Now, Busquets just played like at his own pace.
I don't know if
honestly.
I don't know if we'll see another him. I know you can say that about Messi and stuff, but like
He's unique.
Even like a Busquets,
Yeah.
I don't think we
He
see
changed
that
the position for me as well too. I think I always felt we had our own mini version. I don't think he was as good, but Carrick for me was a form of that in terms of being that
Gives you
holding
shades of.
midfielder. Yeah, that liked to pass the ball, that was very comfortable on it, gave us some balance. Obviously not as good, but he was our version of that. But
Yeah.
I always felt that position, and maybe that's why Carrick was so underrated, always went under the radar because you think of the Makaleles and the Vieiras, the tough tackling
Get
defensive
after
midfielders.
people, yeah.
I think Busquets really introduced a wave of like you saw Jorginho for Chelsea, and you saw because like you saw, I think you start to see that version of a defensive midfielder way more. After
conductors.
but
Busquets.
England never got.
Yeah,
England as a nation never really.
No, you guys never
coped
got
to speed
that.
with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
No.
I remember having debates with people in college around this time Like, you need Carrick in this midfield. If you want to free Gerrard and Lampard, whoever.
But for them, it's like he doesn't score enough
Get
goals.
Carrick
He doesn't
in
win
there.
the ball enough.
Yeah.
He's not
better than
enough.
them.
Yeah.
We're not saying he's better than them. What we're saying is he can provide them a platform to be the guys they
facilitate
want to
the
be.
team.
And
Busquets provided that balance. Yeah. Definitely. Blame game. Who takes the most blame for the losing effort from a Man United point of view?
The losing effort.
Yeah.
Sir Alex.
It's Sir Alex. And I don't want to be.
He'd say that, though. No, there's nothing wrong with saying that, man.
But it's like, if we're being honest about what happened, it was the wrong tactics. And Max said as well, like, there's I know I said there's nothing we can do to actually have won the game, but you can, like you say, you can do things that can keep you in the game longer, can be more of a difficult proposition for Barcelona to
well,
have
if you
to
look
have
how
got
we
through.
played against them, and I know it's a Rijkaard Barcelona, but you look how we played against them in 2008.
Yeah.
I know we missed a penalty in the new camp, and we probably should have won 1-0, but it was backs to the wall for a lot of it. And,
Definitely. Still got to soak
we
it
made
up.
sure we soaked it up and all that, and we went completely against that in this.
Exactly.
And that's why I think it was an ego thing. And that's why I think it was like, that's why he's sitting there fuming, because it's not just a tactical decision he's got wrong, it's his whole approach to the game.
Yeah.
It is that, and listen, we're never gonna like not be thankful for everything because he's Sir Alex, but there's certain things he got wrong on an individual perspective with certain players, like when they left the club, and we spoke about the Stams, whether it's Roy Keane leaving at the wrong
Great
time,
managers
or you
make
know what I'm saying.
mistakes. I mean,
Exactly. You
look
can't
at Pep
not.
in the final against Chelsea.
Exactly. We change it.
The guy just goes, what am I even doing? I don't know what
So
I'm doing.
it can happen, but to answer that question, for there to be an answer, it's probably got to be found.
You know, we were talking so much about our defensive side of the game, right? In terms of how we couldn't keep them at bay. I honestly, it doesn't. It bothers me, right? Because I wish we didn't get dominated. But like, I watched that team against Madrid. They beat Real Madrid 5-0 this season in Jose Mourinho's first game. That Real Madrid team had more quality than us.
But
Right?
Messi got applauded off.
Yeah. Like, they beat every team. They beat
Massive.
Arsenal. They beat. Who else they beat? Like, they beat everybody. So for me, there's
no shame.
There's no shame in that. I think the most startling thing about this game, though, was going forward, we had nothing. Like, we couldn't keep the ball. We couldn't build a counterattack. We couldn't retain possession. We couldn't get it up to a big man
I
up
think
front.
it's because of the effects of
Berbatov,
them, Leo.
Nani.
Yeah.
And Nani came on and look, he started getting at a few
Someone
people.
asked ChatGPT to put that in the machine.
What would have happened?
But you know what it is? I think this Barca team as well, too, where they get really underrated is the defensive side of the game from them. Because, again, they don't have the biggest players here. They don't have the best 1v1 defenders. But do you guys remember the way they used to press? The minute they lose the ball, it's like wasps. Honestly, it's like a hive.
Well, it was the 6 seconds of fury at that point for Pep, wasn't it? Where
Yeah.
when you lose the ball within 6 seconds, you go and win that.
Or you get
And
back into your
The
shit.
counter press was a joke.
And like a lot of the time when you see footballing teams, like obviously everyone does it now, but especially around then, it used to be, here's your defense, and then here's your midfield and attack.
Yeah.
The defense is just there to just give the ball to them. But their attacks started from there.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
attacks
yeah.
started from their goalkeeper. Like, this was the first time we had
And their
ever
defense started from their striker.
really
Yeah.
seen anything like that. It was unbelievable.
Nah, it was a joke. Absolute joke. What's the most 2011 thing about this game?
You know, I just had a thought. Yeah, I remember our
fact you said
coach.
he's
Yeah,
offside.
we played football at it, obviously not great level, but I remember our coach tried to implement that 6 seconds of fury thing. Bro, I was so tired. So
After one of them.
Mad.
After 1 second.
Mad. What position you play as well?
I
Right
was
back.
so tired.
Where'd
I
you
remember
play?
being in midfield, man, just getting
long,
doggies,
man.
bro. Just like, oh my God, get me out of here.
That's wild, bro. People try to emulate that. Well, people try to emulate Pep from this staple, this version of that Barcelona team.
Yeah.
You know, everyone talks about, oh, did we play like prime Barcelona? Prime Barcelona is the phrase that's thrown
That's
around.
actually such a good point.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Anytime some team is playing unbelievably,
It's prime
we say, oh, they're
Barcelona,
playing
bro.
Like, prime, like 2011 Barca.
So that's what that is. That is a staple statement in football. Do you know what I mean? So that's probably the most 2011 thing about it. The
most
fact that that's
2011
what it
thing,
was.
you look at the kits, man, like as well. I'm always one to look at the kits. It's not a great 2011 thing, but I think the newly opened Wembley was like 4 years old at that point.
Yeah, something like
I've
that.
never really been a fan of the new Wembley.
You haven't made it a secret to them.
I just think it's a bit soulless, isn't it? Maybe if we win this game, I feel a little bit different about it.
Yeah.
But I've always felt like the old Wembley was better. And maybe that's kind of like a new era for English football as well. Like it's, you know, a final thingy. Was that the first one? And then there were loads of finals.
Yeah, this was the first
Wembley
Champions League final in the new Wembley. Yeah, and then they played it 2 years later, and then like 5 years later, and it was
On a just a personal thing, like I'm I'm a big shoe person and slash boots.
F50s.
Yeah, I was a Mercurial man, like, in my day when I was playing. Always, because collect boots and that as well. And even now, I'm a bit of a boot nerd. Like, I always look to see what people are wearing.
I feel like they fell off, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, 100%.
Fell off, for sure.
100%.
Because I remember growing up, I knew every boot that a player wore.
Correct.
Yeah, I knew Nani and Van Persie were Predator.
Thin
yeah,
boot.
exactly.
Yeah.
But those, I had those F50s that Messi was wearing.
The yellow ones.
The Adi Zeros, the first ones. They were the second ones, I think, actually. No, they were the first ones.
Which ones was he?
He wore the yellow with the purple sole plate.
Yeah.
And I had them in the leather version of that, yeah?
Yeah.
And the iconic of how much colours there were in boots then. So the CTRs were getting more bright. Rooney in the total 90s, they were getting brighter. In the Vapors, I think it was the purple Superflies that were out then, the Superfly 3s, I think it would have been at the time.
He's a real boot head.
Bro, I was a boot head. So when so when you're saying the most 2011 thing about it, like for me then, as I was still playing at like a half decent level, you know what I'm saying, locally, like I was always in tune to boots, and I just remember Messi just, and then obviously in the one where he took the boot off in the final, and it was the blue tunic.
Blue one, yeah,
like just boots, and that annoys me because I have to attach that to obviously getting destroyed.
No one was wearing those days the boots. Now the sock.
Nah, bro. Even when they came out, man, they didn't be on them. Hypervenom with the flipping Hypervenom freeze with the socks on. Nah,
Imagine what would have happened to Messi if he didn't wear shin pads.
Oh, jeez. Mad. No one was wearing their socks.
Might have won the game.
2-1. If we look at this United team and take it to our current side, who's one player from this side?
Come on, don't ask this question.
It's like saying the Sir Alex thing.
This is different.
Obviously,
this is different.
Fabio.
This is different. This is in this team.
This is exactly as bad as that question.
You reckon?
Yeah, this is as bad as that question.
Rooney, bro.
You know the answer.
It's Rooney.
I'll say it with you. Rooney.
Rooney.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Rooney, it's
Vidic for me.
Vidic.
I think Vidic this season
he's still
I think he was the best defender and the best center back in the world this year.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that. I think he was so good this year.
Listen, guys.
Did he win
someone
the
can
Player
keep
of
the
the Year
ball.
that year in the Prem?
Yes, he won Premier League Player of the Year this year.
And then you're saying like he was one of the only centre backs to win that. We've seen.
Yeah.
That's what he jumped to.
This is the first year he took the armband for United as well too.
Yeah, Vidic, we could definitely do with him
I
right now.
loved Vidic, man,
but I'm also
seriously.
going to say Carrick as well, you know. Because
See, that's like a Mascherano answer for me. As much as I love Carrick.
I'm
taking Rooney and
no. Like, because we left the Rooney
we
thing.
could definitely
just honorary mentions.
we
like,
could definitely
we can
use
obviously
Carrick,
like the way the game is now.
I reckon with today's Carrick, we could use him.
100%, bro. His
still does it in
comfortability on the
training.
ball.
Yeah.
We need that, bro. So I'll definitely look at that. But
I think
the
Wayne
answer is
Rooney survives in any era of football.
Yep.
Easily.
Ever.
Easily.
And I think he's one of the best players in the world.
Easily. Even Arteta the other day, you see what he said? Walcott was basically, would you take me on when I get into the current team? He's like, maybe on the bench. And then he looked at Rooney, he's like, he would start.
Facts.
To be fair, Arteta would be right on the bench with Phil Walker.
Rematch is powered by our friends at Betway. Betway is your home for weekly free bets, free spins, and so much more. Don't miss out. Head to Betway today. Bet the responsible way.
One sentence to summarize this game.
I've said it twice, I think, in this death by 1,000 passes. Bro.
That's a good one.
Even at 1-1, you just know it's not happening. It's not our day. They're on another level to us. Every pass is better. Every pass is crisp. They're moving into shape, into positions. Like you say, our attacking patterns didn't really have any rhyme or reason to them. And
It's okay to be the great, but understand that there is the greatest. That's how I felt, because I felt like we were greats. We united, we got DNA, we got some top players, but then we played against the greatest. And like you said, we didn't realise that, maybe necessarily then. But looking back now, you can say we played against
Barcelona
there's
said you're
levels
going
to
to learn
this
today.
Yeah.
For me, there's levels to this game. That's
Levels,
the
bro.
sentence for me.
Yeah.
If you could go and interview, and I guess Rio has given us a
we know enough
huge
about
breakdown
that now.
of this game, but I guess if we exclude Rio, if you could interview anyone from this game and ask them a question about
does it
it,
have to be
who
from
would it be
United?
and why? I mean, I guess even from Barca.
I think Sir Alex, you know.
What were you thinking?
Obviously his career ended 2 years after this. It was the end of the season, so, and like I said, I never watched anything after this. So I didn't see his interview or anything like that. Just to kind of get into his mindset on the Berbatov thing, the team selection. Did he really think we could go toe-to-toe with him? His thoughts during the game and stuff like that as well. I think because everyone else on this has
spoken
about
mostly about
it.
it.
You know what I mean? I've been lucky enough to speak to Rooney about it. I've heard Rio speak about it. And I think their opinions would be reflected in the other players. So it's like getting into the mind of Fergie on this one would be. Because we hear all his thoughts on 99 and 08.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
This
The
is like
ones who
taboo
lose.
for United, man. Honestly, we
Yeah.
we don't want to talk about it.
Away from United, because you gave that answer, which I agree with. If I had to pick someone, do you know what? It'd have to be Messi or Pep. Maybe even Pep.
I think I want to talk to Pep about it.
Yeah, because I want to know, like, was there any part of you that was like afraid of what we might have, was second guessing? Because Pep's someone who knows us football, obviously, and has that respect for Sir Alex, and he's done him in 09. But was he arrogant? Was he like, guys, listen, I'm telling you, there's nothing they're going to be able to do to us come May. I'm telling you that now. Or was it like, I always feared that Rooney would do X, Y, Z, and I was maybe, were you surprised that Sir Alex went the way he did? Was he surprised that he tried to come after you? Did you, what was your sense after the game? Did you think, yeah, that Man United team's kind of finished, that's kind of the end of that? And I don't know, I'd just love to ask him all of those multitude of questions about how we prepared his team for that, and did he expect more from us, or was he shocked by what we did?
I always laugh because Pep, anytime he's asked about, is this the best goal scorer you've worked with, or is this the best passer you've worked with, or he's always like, Messi is the best.
Messi. Remember when Shirky did that thing, he did the Rabona?
Yeah, and he's like, he should be more simple like Messi. Yeah, they asked him, is De Bruyne the best passer you've ever seen? He's like,
No, I had Messi.
Yeah.
So there's levels, yeah. And
So
everyone should say the same
I think he looks
answer.
back to this team and this player as like, he's had some great teams and players since, but I think he just looks at this and he probably feels so much pride. Like, I literally, this was it. This was the pinnacle of what I would do. And that's saying something considering what he has done. Do we think this is the greatest team performance in Champions League final history? If not, who? I think it might be PSG,
But for who they came
What,
up
the 5-0?
against.
Yeah, the 5-0 is a peak.
They played into Milan though.
Yeah, man.
But I don't think this was an amazing United team either.
But it's
you know
not.
what I mean?
But it is a continuation of what happened, and it is Fergie. And I know
I hear
it's,
that.
I know
Did it
it's
with
only
the greatest
paper you
ever.
go.
I think this team is better than Inter. I
Real
agree.
Vidic, Van der
This team
Sar,
is better than Inter Milan. I agree.
Rooney,
100%.
Giggs.
And it was tipped to do more. Like Inter, like dogged team, kind of rounds go their way. They
But then
drag you
again,
to
I
places you
never
wanna go.
thought Inter would concede 5 goals in one game.
No. It was astonishing.
Yeah.
Also,
It was
the
astonishing.
levels of performance here.
Yeah, you're talking about Messi and...
I don't think PSG had to reach the heights of this Barca team to beat Inter like that.
No. And obviously they don't possess, I know we're comparing errors and stuff, but I think it's safe to say they don't, with the young affluent team they don't possess that.
Yeah.
So I don't really want it to be on Man United's head tops, to be honest, but
it's
it probably
interesting
is.
watching that PSG team and Enrique and what he's doing with them though.
Similar.
Because it's,
See some similarities.
yeah, there's obviously the level of players that play for this Barcelona team's on another level, but some of these younger players develop as they maybe should, and Enrique sticks around.
Yeah, João Neves, Vitinha.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what, I don't think they're as good because I agree. I think what makes this Barca team so special is they have all-timers, right? Xavi, Iniesta, Messi. I'm sorry, PSG don't have does any team have a player on their level? Those 3 players would be the best players in the world right now. But
Easily.
I think that's the difference. But I think in terms of the way they go about things, like the way they play their football, that PSG team is probably the closest to that Barca side in terms of style that I have seen.
Was the Ballon d'Or rankings basically Ronaldo, Rooney, and the rest of
No. The Ballon d'Or ranking for this year, no, that might have been 2010. Yeah, I think you
You're
might
the
be
guy
right.
for this.
Because I was gonna say 2010, it was Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
I think this year you're right.
Yeah,
it was
see.
Messi, Ronaldo, Xavi.
I knew it was
See that?
Yeah.
You got the Ballon d'Or winner
Messi, Ronaldo, Xavi, Iniesta, Rooney.
there. Rooney, top 5, mate. Top
Yeah.
5. No problem.
Forlan is in there.
Suarez
Neymar
is
at
just
Santos in 10. That's
You know how
beautiful.
crazy that is.
Casillas.
That's
I love
insane.
Neymar, you know.
That's insane.
Neymar gets disrespected all the time. It's a joke.
But yeah, the year
was there
before
from
this,
Santos.
the year before this, 2010, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. You know how crazy that is.
It's a joke.
And Diego was top goal scorer at the 2010 World Cup, innit?
This year, him and Suarez won the Copa America for Uruguay, so I think that's why they ranked so
So
highly.
they got in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that, man. You just can't. I'm sorry. You can find little angles to be like, maybe we can, because they're that good and that dominant in like across a long time. You can look at try and nitpick to take something off the Barca team. I just think every time you try to do it, I just think it's just not
No,
fair.
there's nothing you can say.
I just think it's just everything goes in their favour and they deserve every bit of adulation, every bit of award.
Who did you prefer, Xavi or Iniesta?
I'm gonna be honest. As
Don't care.
First I don't care, but I could never separate them as
Yeah.
players. For me, it was always Xavi and Iniesta and Xavi. They were inseparable for me.
I think I enjoyed. Look, Xavi was unbelievable, but he's probably quite close to Scholes in style and
Who's
what he
Xavi?
does.
more the control,
Like,
right?
you know what I mean? And I've seen that kind of player. Like Iniesta was like the ability to turn and move and dribble and
could-
and also have that tiki-taki stuff.
He could dribble out of a telephone booth.
Yeah,
man,
bro.
Iniesta, seriously.
Crazy.
You put 3 players on him. I don't know. I think they're different, obviously. Xavi, like you said, is more the conductor. I felt like I've never seen a player scan so many times during a game. Like the amount of touches he would get, just touch, go, touch, go, touch, go. Iniesta, I think he could do that side, but like you said, in the final third, I just felt he was so elusive. Like you couldn't get near him at times. So it's a tough one, man. Those two, the fact you can even you can choose between the two of them and they had them both is just ridiculous. Is there any team that could have beaten Barcelona on this night, like in the history of football, you can think of?
No. Maybe the 09 version of Barca.
08 United go up against them.
I just can't see it, bro.
I know probably the same result, but if we manage to get them 1-1 at half time with this team, and come on, we're adding Owen Hargreaves into the team, Tevez and Cristiano Ronaldo. And a better right back in Wes Brown.
Yeah.
Like, I think we do push these
Van der
like,
Sar
a
is
little bit
better at that
closer,
point.
and we've got a little bit more going forward. Van der Sar probably doesn't allow 2 of those shots in. Rio and Vidic would have been better. Rio definitely would have been better at that point.
I think
in
it
time.
depends how Fergie sets them up.
I think our best chance anyway is that. Is that 08 team.
I agree with getting a better chance.
Because you just look at the setup as well. We had a 3 in midfield. Carrick, Hargreaves, Scholes had everything. Like
Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo. Joke.
suddenly
odd
they're
you
shook
won
about
too,
what's going on up
Yeah.
here as well. Do you know what I mean?
I
I think with all due respect to Chicharito, they're probably looking at Chicharito like, okay, if a ball goes in behind, maybe, but
PK put him in his pocket.
yeah,
it just still feels uncomfortable, boys. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm with you.
I just can't.
I rate your optimism,
because
Adam,
you know what it
honestly.
is. You have to also look at Barca and go, where are they weak then? Let me look for a weakness.
Yeah.
And I can't.
What about-
I can't find a weakness in the team, bro. The team is perfect. Give me something.
No,
What
man,
about- let me hear this one.
This is pure styles. This is pure styles.
Yeah, styles make fights.
Mourinho's Chelsea.
What, the one that?
No,
conceded
like
14?
around 05 to
Mourinho's
06,
Inter did it against a variation of this
Exactly.
team the year
Yeah.
before.
And Pep hated Mourinho. United would have gone and tried to play football with him.
Yeah, because with the players that we had,
You need
we couldn't play like
well,
that.
you're saying you need bullies against this team.
And Mourinho would have gone, I don't play football. Don't worry about football
then
today.
Mourinho-
lads."
play like that with Ronaldo.
But then Mourinho's Real Madrid played them in the semifinals and they still lost, man.
Toasted.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's harder to get a Real Madrid team to go, listen,
because of
you're
what
not
it is.
leaving this
Yeah,
penalty
yeah,
area
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Because Real Madrid and their fans are going to start, we're going to whistle that.
They start waving the white handkerchiefs, bro.
like, all that's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you get a group of players that just goes, all right, boss, whatever you say, I'm
So
doing.
basically, Chelsea the next season, because they're the team that beat them, right?
Yeah.
Di Matteo's Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
even then,
wild.
it's
How
a-
did Di Matteo?
It's a
It
miracle.
was Mourinho still had fumes left on
it's
that
a
team.
miracle.
innit?
Days, bro. Yeah, exactly.
I want to find out from you guys whether these are the best versions of these players. Is this the vintage Barcelona? Like, is this the pinnacle? Because they had the MSN year. They had the 2009 team. They had Ronaldinho. But is this it for Barcelona?
As a front three, I prefer Messi, Suarez, Neymar. I think
That's so
probably
good,
the
man.
greatest
That's
front
so
three
Agreed.
of all time. And I'm a huge Neymar fan. But like we've already gone over this, 2011 Messi, there isn't a better bottle of wine out there, if you want to put it
No.
that way.
The
Like, there
supporting
just isn't.
cast can change. So the cheese and the biscuits they had the wine with, that's fine. We can get better. But the wine, nah.
I think Xavi and Iniesta at this point too, right? 2015, at Xavi's out the door basically. The fact you had those two in their prime is just a joke, man.
But then Giggs aged like a fine wine. Like when you think of, do you remember when we went out in 12-13 against Real Madrid? Giggs was so ridiculously good.
joke, bro.
You even look back to the Olympiacos game in 14.
Yeah.
Just he had aged so well and used his experience so well. He just relied upon his brain. But obviously, that's not my favourite version of Ryan Giggs.
No, your
I'd
favourite
probably
one
go
is
back to
Marauling down
92,
the-
93 or something like that for Giggs. But Rooney-wise, what year are we saying for Wazza is the best? Because this
He's
ain't
had
it
too
for me.
many-
As good as this is, this
Yeah.
ain't it.
Let me say this, right? I don't think this is his best season because first and foremost, he was on strike for half of it, it felt
Yeah.
like. And then I think he had injuries as well too. He had years where he scored more goals.
I think earlier, I
I'm
think
not gonna lie, I
like
think this might be his best, you know?
I think 07 to
7 to
09.
9.
That's a good version of Rooney.
When we
too.
done the free, that's what I'm saying.
guys, this is a
that's for me
bicycle
is
kick
like
Rooney,
peak
this-
AIG Rooney, like just doing everything, bro.
Angry Rooney.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't as
kicking
angry anymore.
people
Yeah, he calmed down by
in
this point.
Hat-trick against Bolton,
faces.
Rooney. Remember that, Rooney?
Yeah.
Just standing there with the ball in his hand. Like,
Well, I'm not gonna lie. This version though was still ridiculous.
Kissing
man.
the back,
Honestly,
Jack Goodison Park, Rooney.
I felt like he could. I felt like he could do everything he ever wanted to, and then there was still a more mature side to his game as well too. So I don't. It's tough, man. He's had so.
Yeah, maybe it's a case of like what Flex said with the Messi thing, where the supporting cast ain't
Yeah.
good enough to bring that out of him
Yeah.
all the time.
But maybe he always had that in him. Maybe when Ronaldo was scoring 32 goals, Rooney could have been doing that as well too. Who
Yeah.
But
knows?
he was still doing the Rooney thing.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of include 07. Maybe it was like where he was dinking goalkeepers and David James.
He was just
hated him
taking the piss out of people, and then it started. Even then, I was already making my mind up that this is the greatest English player we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think there's a Wayne Rooney that's bad.
No. Maybe towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But even then, I'll ping one in from the halfway line if you want.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
West
He did
Ham
You know
not
what I
away,
mean?
mean,
like,
Like,
yeah.
don't worry about it. for
I think
Everton as well.
his last season under Mourinho
Yeah.
was it started getting bad. But I agree. Even like Van Gaal Rooney was remember the FA Cup final against
Yeah.
Palace. Like he
Yeah.
still gave us an unbelievable.
You know that
performance.
Wayne Rooney when he goes, lads, I'm going to sort this out.
I'm activating, yeah.
You know what I call that? I call it
yeah.
F it. I'm Wayne Rooney.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
yeah, move out of my way. Give me the ball. I'll take us to the
If
promised
Chris
land.
Smalling gets sent off against Palace, he
No
goes,
problem.
lads,
That was-
I've never
yeah.
won an FA Cup. This is it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy by the way.
And that's why you think, you know, if these games stay 2-1 for us, and then Rooney just has that 5
It
minutes
ele-
of
it elevates that.
bulldogging
Yeah,
people
yeah,
out the
yeah.
way and that. But then 0-4 Rooney,
Well,
when he played against
France.
France.
I mean,
and
genuinely,
Lilian Thuram
that
looks
might
at
be
him
his
like
best-
he's seen an alien. Like,
That
who
might
is
be his
this
best
kid?
version, man. I mean, he's on the same pitch as Zidane and Thuram, and he's
And he's
the best
taking the mick.
player. Like,
Yeah.
He was smashing, like, in
How
a
old
good
would
way.
Rooney
Like
have been then?
18? It was when he
He's
joined
18.
United.
Yeah, he's 18.
And they're looking at him like, what is this kid?
Freak of nature,
What
bro.
is this kid?
Rooney's not a normal
And I'm
guy.
glad people like Pep and I think I've heard maybe Messi's even said it like a few. They give him his flowers,
Everyone
bro.
knows.
Like
Every player knows
yo,
Rooney, man.
Wayne
Come on.
Rooney is iconic.
I'm sure Pep would have looked at that team and respected everyone on the team, but he's looking at Rooney as like, if I can take anyone from this team, it's Rooney.
Yeah.
If,
No,
like,
no, 100%.
I'm good off everyone else. I like PK. I like, you give me Wayne Rooney to this team. That's why when he told us, Adam, that like, oh, they wanted me, I would genuinely have been like,
can't believe it,
wow,
though, yeah.
Messi
Makes me love him
via
even more.
Wayne Rooney. Are you insane? They would have won 4 Champions Leagues in a row.
Easy.
I half
Easy.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I wish he would.
I'd say I half wish he went so he could win
Just
a
to
Ballon d'Or or something. And then
I would have
chill,
just liked to
chill,
see what it looked
chill.
like. I'm
Yeah,
happy
nah.
he stayed with
Bro,
us.
our whole,
Nah, I
our whole
wouldn't want
existence
that.
is different.
Yeah,
if that happens.
facts.
No.
I mean,
Facts. And then finally, is this, because this is a tough question as well too, is this the best version of Messi? Because he's had so many different versions as well too. So many.
Yeah.
I want to say yeah, but it feels. Listen, it feels like weird trying to pin down what
But
the
you know what it
best
is
of
with
him was
Messi,
because he's
right?
just so good, bro.
Messi reached a level at this age and never stopped. It wasn't like he gradually got
Yeah,
there.
it stayed at
He
that
reached
level.
there and stayed
I always
there.
said he literally got called the best player
He's
of all
only,
time. after
he
this
only
game,
recently
yeah.
just started coming down.
Yeah, it's like there's people trying to point when's Messi's best year.
Yeah.
Like this looked like it because it was the first time we'd seen it, but then he just maintained it anyway. Like it was.
I think the thing with him, like, as the legs started to maybe go a little, that's when you started to see his passing more. And then he started taking free kicks. And then he started dropping almost into midfield sometimes. So I think that's why people like different versions of Messi, because he was doing different things. But I just think this was maybe the athletic peak of Messi. Like, this is still the Messi where I feel if he gets the ball, he will blitz you. I felt at times towards the end, he's like weaving past you. Here, he could get the ball, just, like, honestly,
Onslaught.
run at
and
you.
he would find a way to drop off the front line when
Yeah.
you might be trying to mark him the whole game to, nah, I'm not letting him turn, I'm not
Yeah.
giving it. And he would just take you for a field day, bro, and just make
That's what
the
it
whole
is as
space
well.
his
We
own.
never played against a false nine like this.
Never.
You know, if they just
he
go
really,
David
he really
Villa as a
brought back the
striker,
false
He
line,
has.
to be honest
suddenly,
with you, yeah.
if they go David Villa as the main man through the middle,
Yeah.
and he's gonna stay there, suddenly Vidic and Rio go, oh,
Yeah.
Messi's not our problem for that.
Yeah.
And like we know what to do here. Like when these guys are like you say, dropping dragging you with them and stuff. Really, the sensible thing to do is probably just stay.
Yeah.
Because
But then
once
we
you
did
do
do
that,
that.
they're popping these holes open and let's not go into it.
I feel like I've just gone through war. Honestly, this game happened 15 years ago, and yet the scars are opened again. Man United losing the game 3-1. This has been myself, Lyes Bouzidi, and joined by a fantastic cast in the form of Adam Mckola.
Look at us.
And
Look at we're
Flex.
not even like.
We're just
I want to say
dejected.
thanks for inviting me. I want to say
I'm
that.
not saying thanks.
I'm not happy, bro. I
didn't wanna be here.
Like, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not, man.
Can we do the 1994 FA Cup final next time? How about that?
Leave in the comment section down below. Next Man United game we want to see, 99. Should we be back for 99? That'd be a good one to get
Yeah,
everyone
man.
back together for. Be a much better mood than today, but today has all been about reminiscing and looking back at what was a historic day for numerous reasons. Thank you for watching Rematch, and we'll see you for the next episode. Peace.